Who's ready for some learning? Rainbow Brad and I are. Oh, hello and happy Tuesday. It is Allison from Wonderlast.com. Enjoying this lovely Tuesday here in Kansas City, Missouri. Hope you all are having a fabulous week, kicking butt, taking names, showing your online biz muscle. I don't know what that means, so let's just pretend that didn't happen just now, okay? Thanks. Okay, so anyway, it is Tuesday, which means it is one of my favorite days of the week because it is time for Tuesday Tips, where you are getting a brand spanking new tip every single Tuesday to help you really grow your online business. And I am really excited about today's tip because today's tip is all about how you can come up with the perfect idea for your freebie, that all elusive freebie, so that you can actually attract your dream customers and grow your email list every single day on autopilot. And growing your email list equals growing your business. So if you don't have a freebie yet, this needs to be top of the list. This needs to be one of your number one priorities to get done and up stat, because most people nowadays are not going to just hand over their email address for something like tips or updates on blog posts or my weekly newsletter. You need to be giving something of value that people actually want for free so that then you can get their email address. All right, so you have got to have that freebie. So today's tip is for you. It's also for you if you've got a freebie, but maybe you're not really attracting the right people, or perhaps it's a little and that it's not really growing your list at the rate that you thought it would. Okay, so coming up with that freebie idea is really important. So how can you actually come up with the right freebie idea? Well, you need to figure out exactly what your dream customer wants. There should be absolutely no guessing when it comes to coming up with your freebie. Okay, so how do you figure out exactly what your dream customer wants? Well, there are 3 ways that I prefer to do. And the first way is to just ask. This seems obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. This is literally people telling you what they want. There's no guesswork here. When you ask and people tell you, then you know for a fact they want it because they told you they wanted it. So I recommend sending a short, keyword being short, 1 to 3 question survey to your email list, or ask your following on social media. So if you only have a tiny list right now, and maybe there's only 5 people on it, that's totally cool. You should still send a survey. If you also have a social media following, then you can certainly ask them too. Now, if you don't have an email list yet, then you can just start with your social media following. But you want to send a short 1 to 3 question survey. The next way to figure out what the heck your dream customer wants is to look. You may have heard this before, but it's so good. You should be looking in online forums, places like Facebook groups, where your dream customer actually hangs out, and then go in, do a little bit of good old-fashioned stalking, and look at what types of questions people are asking. What are they asking about? What are they needing help with? People are constantly posting in Facebook groups. It's like gold. So the key here is to just make sure that you're going into a group that is actually full of your dream customers. If it's a random group that is filled with all sorts of people that aren't really who you want to work with, then it ain't gonna do you a lick of good. So you gotta make sure that it's filled with people who are, yes, your dream customers. That is a mouthful to say. Your dream customers. How about I just call it your DC? Okay, your dream customers. Okay, and then the next way to figure out what your DC wants is to just think back, because oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes we are our own ideal client. So think back about what you would have wanted. I know for me personally, I am my own ideal client because several years ago when I myself was trying to figure out how to really grow my online business, that is who I talk to today. So when I'm coming up with freebie content, I'm like, okay, what would I have wanted a couple years ago that would have been super helpful? If you are sending a survey, which I highly recommend, you have got to remember that people are busy. So keep it short. 1 to 3 questions is perfect. 5 is too much, 10 is too much, 15 is too much. All right. The shorter and easier you make it, the more people that are going to respond. And if you can ask your own audience, that's going to be more effective. So if you can ask your own email list and your own social media following, that's going to be better because those are definitely your ideal customers, but they are also going to be more likely to want to respond because they know who you are, they have rapport with you, and they're more likely to help you out rather than just asking random strangers. Also, when sending your survey, you should just let people know in the subject line of the email what it is, that it's going to be quick, easy, and help them out. So the subject line that I used literally earlier this year when I sent out a survey was 2 quick questions to help me give you better content. I don't remember the exact open rate because I'm not looking at it, but it was good, and I got over 500 responses. It was really helpful. So be sure to kind of let people know what's inside the email. And then you want to ask questions like, what is your number one struggle when it comes to blank? And that is, of course, where you would insert what it is you do, the purpose of your business, what you help people with, or what you do for people. And then if you could have a free blank on the topic of insert whatever it is you're trying to create here, what would it be? You want to be specific with your questions. You don't want to leave them super open-ended because then people are going to have to think more, which requires more time. And we already discussed if it requires more time, people are going to be more likely not to want to answer. And then lastly, write it down. So once you send a survey, if you do some stalking in groups and forums and you do some thinking, you want to actually write down the answers so that you can get it all into a place that you're going to remember. I like to keep a bookmarked Google Doc for this. So I literally have a Google Doc on my computer where I compile and keep track of all the things that my DC, my dream customers actually want. And I analyzed the results from my survey, which, by the way, I used SurveyMonkey. It's free. You can look up to, if you get 100 responses, it's free. You can see them all for free. But if you get more than 100 responses, then you'll have to pay $27 to see all the responses. So I had over 500 responses, so I paid the $27 to see all my answers. Totally worth it because it is like gold. And not only do you want to keep track of this, but you want to write down the exact words and phrases that people are using, because then you can use those exact words on things like your sales pages, your website, any ads that you might be doing, emails, etc. So write down the exact words and phrases. I'm sure you've probably read an email or maybe seen a sales page where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like that person's in my head. They're speaking directly to me. Well, that's an example of someone who knew how to resonate with their DC, and they probably used exact words and phrases. They probably did this exact thing. So when you are writing down exact words and phrases people are using and then using that in your copy, you're going to resonate with people because those are things that they think and say themselves. Okay, so I hope that helps you in coming up with your freebie idea. It is so important to have a freebie. You gots to do it. You gots to do it. So be sure to grab the free training that I have listed below in the extra info on this video. There is a link to some free training for you. We go more into this step by step. We go over exactly how you can get super clear on your dream customer. There's a workbook for that. We go really into more ways that you can come up with your freebie idea. We cover how to drive traffic to your freebie, because if people are not actually seeing your freebie, then it's still not going to work from you, because people aren't seeing your freebie, then they're not going to see it and they're not going to be able to get on your list. So we cover how to drive traffic to your freebie, including my favorite ways to drive traffic. And no, that does not include paid ads. So you can take a deep breath if you're kind of freaking out that you need to spend a bunch of money. And then we go over what to actually send your subscribers once they get on your list. Don't be like me and not send anything to your list for an entire year, because in the beginning I had no idea what to send, and I literally went an entire year without sending them anything. So you need to be sending them stuff. You need to be building relationships. You need to be providing value. And then, of course, you need to be making sales, because if you're an online business, then you got to have sales, if you know what I'm saying. Otherwise, you ain't got a business. I don't know why I keep slipping into this like slightly hick persona. But anyway, okay, so grab the free training. We go through it step by step. It's a 4-part video series. And I just had to share this because I'm so excited about it. I've got a free Facebook group for lady bosses called Creative Superheroes, which you're more than welcome to join, by the way. But literally yesterday, Carrie posted inside the group a photo of her ConvertKit account, which is who she uses for email marketing. That's who I use too. But as you can see, she has had, I get so excited over this, she has a massive spike in her number of email subscribers in the just a couple days after revamping her freebie. She went through the free training that I have and she implemented it. She actually did it and she's already seen results in a couple of days. So it is literally like, boom, when you have a freebie that people want, it's going to start becoming immediate. You're going to start seeing things immediately, which is so cool. Okay, so that is it for today. If you would like more free courses and resources to grow your online business, head over to wonderlass.com. That is my colorful little corner of the internet. I've recently revamped it, so it's all fresh and ready for you. And that's it for today's tips. And I'm going to see you right back here for next week's Tuesday tip. Oh, yeah.